Hello, friends! Welcome to our channel where we dive into the world of theories and mysteries of the amazing digital circus. If you love analyzing characters, metaphors, hidden details, and connections within the TADC universe, then you've come to the right place. Let's start our journey into this amazing digital world. My theory is that they, like the people who are stuck, wanted to be there. All right, you guys need to listen before you start yelling at me. So basically, this is not the first time this has happened. Or rather, we saw something like this happen for the first time. Let's take a moment and gather what we know. Everyone here doesn't remember who they were before. They only know that they were once humans. Everyone is in this crazy world that makes no sense. We have a guy who can literally do anything at the snap of his fingers. All NPCs regard him either as a friend or as a god. And there's a portal that this god creates, sending everyone to an unknown place, hardly knowing what to expect. Now, using what we know and all the information I just listed, it's very similar to another show that appeared before. The series The Hollow. For those who don't know what The Hollow is, keep in mind that I'm going to spoil some of it and the main plot point. Basically, it's just a group of teenagers stuck in this digital world with no memory, except that they're no longer on Earth. The only reason they have a name is the paper in their pockets. The end point of the plot was that they participated in a video game tournament that shook their memories. But they decided it would happen. Right now, everything that's happening in TADC seems very similar to The Hollow, so that's why I'm talking about it. It really makes sense when you start looking at it. And I remembered the existence of the series only because I rewatched the first and second episodes of TADC and noticed that the patterns are similar. Essentially, I want to say that everyone who is stuck in the circus, in essence, decided to get stuck there. They just don't remember it. Connection with reality. Perhaps the digital world they are in is a reflection of their real life or desires. This could explain why they decided to get stuck there. They could have chosen this world as a way to avoid their real problems or as a way to realize their dreams. Memories. Perhaps their memories were erased or blocked so that they could fully immerse themselves in this new world. This could be the reason why they don't remember their past life. Role of God. Perhaps the god who creates portals is a key element of this theory. He could be the one who controls this world and determines who stays and who leaves. He could be associated with their decision to stay in this world. Connection with The Hollow. Perhaps there are direct or indirect connections between TADC and The Hollow. This could be the same universe, different versions of the same universe, or two different universes with similar rules and structures. These are just additions to your theory, and they may be wrong. But it's interesting for contemplation and further research. It will be interesting to hear what you think about these additions. Goose published a chronology of which characters will be in the spotlight in certain episodes. And I'm curious if this is some kind of abstract timeline, with waiting and watching potentially implying that Pomni and possibly Kane Bubble are the only ones left. The reason I can think that this might be a death timeline is that Goose teased Gangla turning into something in the 4th episode at MomoCon. Jax has a lot going on. His survival mechanism is to be a fool and embrace chaos for personal gain and entertainment. But deep down, he's still human and understands that they're grieving. And maybe he would have liked Kaufmo, but it goes against the personality he's adopted, so he's dealing with an internal conflict. Nevertheless, he's still selfish and would probably let Pomni or other characters abstract without hesitation, possibly foreshadowing at the end of the episode where everyone saves Pomni from abstraction, except Jax. This is just my opinion on this matter. Additionally, there's also the fact of the physical characteristics of abstraction. A glitching black body, multiple eyes all over the body, and a body in the form of an animal. It reminds me of texture glitches in video games when the game can't properly load a character and starts to lag the game. This will be far-fetched, but my theory is that perhaps the digital circus game can't handle such extreme levels of mental suffering and instability, so it leads to the game breaking down, and the character's data gets damaged, and they glitch and turn into an infectious computer virus that needs to be deleted. But based on Regatta's explanation, I would say it's more like a glitch that people often encounter when their programming loses its maximum functionality and becomes unpredictable. It could also be a protective program for the simulation. Kane never uses the program itself to lift anyone. In fact, the most he does is check the integrity of their files. He had manipulative control over something only when it was abstracted from what we saw. It's interesting, isn't it? Because Kaufmo, in his quest to find an exit, actually found out that Kane was at the center of it all. It begs the question because Kane obviously is the main, at least at the middle management level, as if it's a good place without subtleties in their psychological tortures. It makes sense that he is the obstacle standing in the way. I mean, the circus tent is just another simulation, filled with the same NPC puppets as in the Candy Canyon Kingdom, which begs the question of who is the main obstacle there. It seems that it is not transmitted, considering that both Regatta and Pomni were directly attacked by it, but it is degenerative. Judging by the scribbles on the walls in the room, I wonder how fast the process was actually. Your theory that abstraction could be analogous to a computer virus or glitch is very interesting. Here are some additional thoughts that could deepen your theory. Self-replication. If abstraction is indeed like a virus, it may have the ability to self-replicate, allowing it to spread and infect other elements in the game. Protective mechanisms. Perhaps there are certain protective mechanisms in the game that are activated upon detection of abstraction. This could explain why Kane throws abstract characters into the basement. Character behavior. Perhaps the behavior of characters, such as Jax, could be a result of their interaction with abstraction. This could explain some of their actions and decisions. Influence on the game abstraction could have a significant impact on the game, causing glitches, changing textures, and even affecting the behavior of NPCs. Influence on characters' abstraction could affect characters on a deeper level, possibly altering their perception of themselves and the surrounding world. These are just additions to your theory, and they may be wrong. But it's interesting for contemplation and further research. It will be interesting to hear what you think about these additions. I was just scrolling through YouTube when I saw this video titled DEEP_BLUE, and it looked like it was part of Analog Horror. So I went to watch it, and apparently it was on the Gooseworks channel. If you don't know who Gooseworks is, they are the creators of the Amazingdigitalcircus, so it was really cool to see their experiments with creative content before TIDC. I'm not saying that Matt should react to this or something like that. It looks a bit unfinished, but nonetheless, it's still a cool little discovery. Amazingdigitalcircus theory. So, you know, the good place, right? Well, if you don't know, it's about 4 people who are in a bad place, but they're told they're in a good place, so people torment each other. So I think that what's happening in TIDC is that Pomni, Jax, Regatta, Kinger, and Zubul are in hell. But they don't know. And they're told that everything is fine, and they're fine, but in reality, they're just being told this to distract them. And just like in the good place, they will eventually help each other and either run back to Earth or to heaven.